Hello, beautiful people. How is everyone doing? So, I already did a video today. This is going to be completely 180 because the energy's way fun and an announcement of a new series. So, I am very, very excited. Um, and this is part of the gifts from the Equinox. Um, so what is it? So, this is going to be the announcement of a new series. This is going to be some Equinox messages that came through. I touched on it briefly in the live I did for the Equinox, but this will be a little bit more of that. Or sorry, not a little bit more detailed, actually opening the door into that, and then the announcement of the new series. So, and some other announcements. So, let's see. And I'll put this in the pin comment. So, yeah, I guess I should say that. So that's funny. Um, I do a weekly newsletter, so you can find it on my website if you're called. And I'll put it a little bit more detailed. I'm very happy. I've done a lot of sessions, and there has been some interest with people who have come to see me with some of the Mayan astrology, so the Nuales. So I knew it was a big part of my activation and a big part of my whole thing. And through huge, through Source itself, I found one of my dear friends, which is Samantha, and she's very, very good about it. So she's amazing. But she is holding a free workshop for information on that. So I will link it. You're welcome to join if you like. If you want to dive into that world, it's very, very rich, and she is very well. She does it very well. So that is part of it. So let's see what else. No, that's it. So we will jump right in. This is going to be fun. So yeah, yeah. We'll go right into the Equinox messages. So this is very, very, very fun. All right. Okay. Let's get set. Let's open the door. So this is quite the turning point. So we've entered Libra. We had the new moon. We had the eclipse, and then we also had the equinox. And now we're, in some ways, just kind of bolting towards the solstice. So you have I call it the river. You have the primordial stream flow. So that's a lot of times how I get the visions. If you want to look at love itself, because love is the sustaining force, I always see it kind of like flow, like it's like a river and it flows through everything. And so feeling that, it's like so fun to feel that energy and be it, and it ignites your being and your soul, and you can feel that kind of real pure energy kind of course through your system and like integrate it and like come alive. That's what I would call the river, right? So the vision that came through in a dream was of all these crabs that were digging new channels from the river, new offshoots. There's the energy. So this is like, so one, you can connect into and they were orange. So they have the orange energy. So passion, love, will, that kind of like orange fire, red hair. So you have some of that, but it's like new channels. So what does this mean? So this is like going forward, we have, especially to do with energy, we've turned another new page. Feels like every single day is a new one, right? But like tapping into energies, we have new avenues, new ways of doing things. Expect the unexpected is the messages. So like really open, clearing the space up. Don't anticipate things to go a certain way, because we have new avenues on how to address, no, on how to live, on the new avenues to tap into life itself. So there's new things pouring in, new relationships. And I think that's actually like more potent, true relationships. That's probably a better way to say it. Everything's a relationship. So we'll just call that people. We'll call that avenue people. And then we also have the current ways we interact with the world. There is an opportunity, because it's not just automatic. There is an opportunity to tap into new streams of true energy of life itself, to address those things, to face those things, to go and interact, to do things. But it requires the breakup, the shake up, the space to be clean in order to interact. And in terms of like, if you feel like you have a troubled time connecting in, then I would ask, just see if you can connect into some of the crab crustacean energy. So like that's how I interact a lot, is like through some of those really, really old energies. Like if you connect into the crab, and I mean they're, I think it's like, what was it? It's in the billions of how old that, um I could be wrong. It's very, very old in terms of how long they've traced like that lineage to in Earth's history on the physical. So they're really, really old. And just looking at it, I mean, they have, um, what was this term that I read when I was looking into this from a biology standpoint? Um, Biological engineers, because they were talking about how they can divert water and stuff. So it's very fun because I got the dream and then I was researching. So, anyways, so if you have trouble connecting in, you can connect into the crabs and see if you can readdress, um, approach something in a different way. What's the new avenue? You can see how things kind of go in a certain way, like in terms of energy, in terms of like day to day, in terms of how we deal with things. Be like, okay, like this is usually how it goes, or I'm anticipating this, or yeah, like this is how it is. And it'd be like, okay, well, this is new energy. And in some ways we don't have a framework for it. So to tap into it is kind of sometimes confusing. So we can ask for sometimes that little channel to be a little, once you identify it, then you can tap into it. So of course, if you're guided. So trust your guidance first before anything else. So, but that is really, really fun. So that's like part of this, I would say, this doorway that happened this last weekend, because there was a lot of freaking energy. Like you had, the changing of the seasons to do with the astrology. You had the eclipse down south and, right over Australia and New Zealand. But then you also had the new moon. And then right afterwards, you had the equinox. So talk about a change of a page. This is a new chapter. That being said, like really tapping into the equinox, and this kind of goes into the new series, is that the distance between the equinox and the solstice, that's what's like, that dynamic was very apparent. So going into the solstice, like there's a lot of energy like building. And so it's just like, whoa. Because in some ways the solstice feels like tomorrow. And then when you look at your own self, it's kind of like that feels so far away. So there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of change. There's a lot flowing in. This is going to be really, really fun. And it's the build up into this real jumping off point for the winter solstice. Um, and I'm really excited for that. So that's something that you can play with. And it makes sense because we have all the support, new avenues, tapping shorter distance into that real, raw, pure energy. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. So you can feel it. It's like running through me a little bit. With that, this is the new series. So when we were talking about, and I've done it before, so you've seen probably some of my videos have been like divine masculine and divine feminine videos of the collective energies. And I want to go a little bit deeper. So we're going to go talk directly to the sun and the earth. And again, it's how much I can hold and how much I can hear. So of course I'm not perfect, but it's also like I want to listen to that dance, because that's a really, really pure dance of love between Father, Son, and Mother Earth. And that is like going to be such a beautiful series to listen. And as this is all really kicking off. So, and getting in line with those natural systems too. So Father Sun and Mother Earth. And so with that, like just connecting in, we'll touch in briefly. So this will be the introduction. So one of them, just listening to all of that, um, it's very funny. It kind of felt like my body started spinning, but it wasn't. It kind of felt like a top that was unbalanced. And it was very funny because my entire left side felt like 100 pounds, like, or 1,000 pounds heavier. Just felt so like this. And then my masculine, so my right side, felt actually empty, void, like it wasn't there. And so how it felt to me, just feeling that energy is kind of like the weight on the feminine, to and how much energy has been holding. So, and I would actually equate that to the physical world. So that's it's quite a bit. And then the absence, or the yeah, of the masculine in that energy space kind of felt void, and like the sun was not reaching the plane, the energy. It wasn't reaching, just wasn't there. I'm just like, where is it? Because it was, and it in some ways it was still buried. So that was very interesting to feel that, and to feel the dynamic between the two. So some of the sun hasn't reached that specific energy plane. So again, that's the rough draft. It's just opening the door so that they'll get better, but it's also like, whoa, that's the real big energies, and the check-in and how you feel it kind of running through everything. So, and then witnessing the really amazing love story of Father, Son, and Mother Earth. So, and staying there. And I love that, because that is such a, that holds, oh, yeah, that's a lot. So, and just witnessing it and being in love, that's who doesn't love that? So, and this whole evolution, because they're our parents. So, anyways, so I'm excited. So we'll start getting the ball rolling with that, and start listening and seeing what wants to pull through with that. And is there anything else? No, but I wish you, like, I know the equinox happened yesterday, but happy Libra season, happy September, happy fall in the north, and then would it be springtime in the south, in the southern hemisphere? Excuse me. Um, and it is Orion season, so it's extra fun for me. I love playing with Orion in the mornings and soon to be evenings. So, with that being said, so fun. Connor, I give you a lot of love, and I give you a lot of love. Shine bright to the adventure. Take care.